What's going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with the fabulous, the effervescent, the ever-present Husk Soup. How you going, my friend?
Hello, it's me. It's me again.
It's me again. Game number 3.
We are on Paint to Desert with Ra and Hades once again. Kimo not letting go of the Egyptian, even if he has been practicing a lot of Hades. I said before this series, I wouldn't be surprised to see Kimo pick up Hades once or twice, but nope, not so far.
Yeah, I mean, we could go into this a little bit into depth. Obviously, Kimo's best god, his most winning god over his entire course of his tournament career has been Ra. But this tournament, Ra has not been his friend. He's lost his drop series against arguably much lower level players. Whether you could say that there's really no lower level players in this tournament, but in terms of tournament success, players that haven't really had that tournament success have been taking games off Kimo's Ra, and it feels like Kimo's missing that magic sauce that he once had with this god. But he still wants to keep going with it.
Absolutely. He lost series to Yoshi and Count on Count, both winning games with Odin versus Ra, right?
Yeah.
And I remember like 2 years ago when it was me, Rebel, Chelsea, pretty much playing Norse, he would abuse the shit out of us. He would win every single game of Ra versus Norse, and we would be absolutely clueless as to how to even approach this matchup.
Yeah, it's absolutely. You got to give credit where credit's due. The Norse meta has come leaps and bounds in the past 2 years. Like the amount of crazy stuff Norse players are doing now, and advantages they're finding, and understanding of the Civ has just come. It's so good. It's good, so good to see the innovation and all that crazy stuff.
Yeah, I like how even once again just 2 years ago, Norse build orders was very similar to how they were when I stopped playing around 2010 or something last time. Then I came back, and the Norse build orders right now are actually very different to what you would see on ESO.
Yeah,
back in the day.
Yeah, like even just the idea of like just going onto wood at the start to get the smallest amount of extra advantage by not having to build your ox cart. That kind of thing is absolutely huge.
Yeah, because what it allows you to do is to advance at even as early as 355 on certain maps, and you don't have to do that every time. It's also just a threat of it. Your opponent has to respect it, and that means that if they go for outside hunt, they know that they have to have some form of defense ready in order to do so.
Yeah.
Like we talked about last game where Kimo built 4 priests because he knew he had to defend against the early Greek heroes if they came.
I was thinking about that and going like, if you're really that concerned, just send 10 villagers onto the town center. Get the town center up. I feel like that would have been the smarter idea.
There is the Minotaur too, though. And if your pharaoh is getting chunked down by Chiron and you don't have more than 1 priest, I mean, that Minotaur can keep that TC down, even with 10 villagers on it.
Yeah. Well,
it's hard.
That's true. That's very true.
Anyways, Kimo getting his temple up right now. It's looking like another 2 TC fast heroic for Kimo. The way he's playing right here.
Yeah, but the town centers are... I mean, if he gets the Ford one up, then it's a good town center because the gold mine becomes behind it. But if he does go for that back town center, there's nothing on it.
Absolutely nothing. It's true.
And we guess we should talk about this map a little bit. It is Painted Desert. Hades versus
Did you see the relic?
Oh, that's good. Oh. Is it as if it's not hard enough? Man,
this is like the perfect Ra relic.
Yeah, but even so, like I already my opinion of this matchup, and obviously Nullus has got his own style and it's working for him, and he should continue doing it. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But my opinion of this matchup is, you want to go mass cavalry as Greek, and that relic makes you want to go mass cavalry even more. Just leave the Toxotes at the door for later in the game. Just early game mass cavalry, and you can blow over a Ra player very, very easily some of the time. But
Yeah, and the big reason why this kind of thing works, obviously, is because of restoration, because it's so good on these expensive Hibicon units.
yeah, and you add an extra 10% hit points onto them, and it's just like the thing is, you take a look at all the other relics, and it's a weird one. Like Ensemble Studios makes some interesting decisions, and I don't understand any of them. You get Archer upgrades, right? The Archer HP upgrade or whatever it is 5%. The damage is 5%.
Yeah.
The Hoplite Pierce armor is 5%. And then you see Hippocon or Cavalry 10%. Just out of nowhere, just have
And
this
this
one.
is even better.
Just have this one relic. It's 10%, and it's what?
You would think it's the one with the Rangers or Archers that. What's this?
You can't.
Insane lag.
No.
Envy.
What we can do is we can save and restart. Not restart the game, but save and continue. Or we can just continue.
Should I try putting my quality down slightly? I mean, 1080p.
Yeah, you could try
Would
that.
that help?
I mean, I'm actually, if you go and click, if you run pings in the game in your game room, and if you don't see it moving around too much, then you can't say it's you.
What do I gotta do?
Just go into the game room, like your Voobly game lobby, and type /ping, and type that like 4 times in a row, and see if things are bouncing heaps.
Nah. You see this too? No, you don't. It's 16 to 31.
Yeah, so it's not moving.
Yes.
Can't be me. Tell me if the quality is noticeably worse. I'll put it back up.
Okay. Right. Quality looks great.
What
to
were we
me.
talking about?
I don't know. But this is like the thing with the this is one of the problems we run into with running tournaments on an old game like this. But the thing with the lag is, yeah, we play with lag literally every other game, and we don't complain. So you kind of just have to deal with it if it happens, unfortunately.
Yeah, it sucks playing with lag. Once again, we just need retold out. We need a central server, so that wherever the lag is coming from, it's gonna be worse for them.
Yeah. So it's not going to be on the
You.
The idea is that if you lag, then that's on you. It's not affecting the other person.
Yeah.
And that would be.
I don't know how it's going to be for you in Australia.
That's going to be fine.
Okay.
I'm if I play on an American server, I'll be playing at 200 ping, and they'll be playing at 20 ping, and that's an advantage for them. But it'll be fine.
Okay. Anyways, both players going 2 TCs here, and Kimo is setting up for. He's already got Shadoof. He's got Husbandry. He's about to place a million farms, I'm sure. And we'll see what Nullus decides to do here. He's grabbing that amazing Tusk of the Iron Bow relic, obviously.
Yeah,
and the other one too, for Chiba Myth Unit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This opening here from Kimo has gone very, very poorly. He's run out of resources. He's decided to not go and eat his chickens, and he's not got any villager production for a significant amount of time here.
Oh, it's really bad for him. Still the second TC not producing any villagers. It's very bad for him.
Yeah.
There's the rain very early. He's only got 11 farms set up with Tar and Shadoof. Usually you want 5 or 6 more farms than this when you use it
Yeah.
with
There's
tar, obviously.
there's like the two options, right? You get your 12 farms set up, you click rain, and you're going for a fast, like an 8-minute heroic age, or 8:30 heroic age, depending on what your build is. Or you go for 15 to 20 farms, and you aim for like a 9-minute plus with more economy.
I really think the more farms approach is a lot better because, like I said before, you really want to go fast mythic and you want to pivot into a Titan and a Wonder. And if you only have, well, he's getting more now, but if you only have 12 or 13 farms, you're not going to get enough food for it.
Yeah.
With those 18 farms, if you have 18 farms plus husbandry and plow, and then you use rain, you're gonna have so much food coming in, and you can really start jumping through the ages.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see. I'm worried for Kimo here because he's got no good gold mines, a very, very late heroic age here. And I mean, Nullus is doing this, and Nullus does this thing where when he's playing with Hades, which I think is a really interesting idea. And effectively, he delays military as long as he possibly can. He gets all of his upgrades and he delays and he delays and he delays. And against some civilizations, they can kind of punish it depending on the map. But against Ra, there's no, like, you're obviously delaying your military as Ra, but Nullus doing it allows him to hit a much earlier timing on a much more significant part of the map than just having units out randomly. I don't even know if Kimo's going to easily get himself a second gold mine here.
Yeah, you may be right. And another thing Nullus did last game too, and I think he just does this consistently, is he puts a unit over onto the third TC. He says, "All right, Egyptian player, you can get the second TC, but I'm going to contest you over the third one. Or at the very least, I'm going to be there and I'll disrupt you and I'll know what you're up to." And all of these walls, even though they don't really do much for you, quote unquote, they don't do much for you, but they are kind of like economic upgrades too,
Yeah.
in the sense that all of your villagers are protected from raids, except from the rock, obviously. But other than that, you have an insanely safe economy, and with 3 TCs to boot, it's so hard to disrupt Nollus's economy right now.
Yeah, this is kind of like your insurance, so to speak. If you lose a fight here against the Egyptian player, the walls say, "No worries, you're not going to be able to push in straight away and just flood my base with your units and stop my economy. I'm going to be able to get my units back out and fight you again." That's the insurance policy that Nullus is buying into.
Yeah. And I know that a way that Kimo likes to play too is by raiding with a bunch of different units. Like he'll have a rock with the Petuchas raiding, and he'll have 3 different groups of chariot archers and camels running around. But when your opponent is playing like Nullus is doing here, this is simply not an option. You're forced to playing kind of brain dead, where you just push in one position. And when you're doing that, you're not really utilizing the speed bonus that Ra offers onto these camels. You're not utilizing the mobility that your units have that obviously Hades doesn't have. So what Nullus is also doing with these walls is he's sort of forcing his opponent to play his game.
Yeah. I'm watching this game, and I'm like, every game thus far we've seen from these guys in this we've only really seen the 2, right? In this Ra versus Hades, it's gone. Nullus grabs 3 town centers, Kimo grabs 2, and then he grabs a 3rd in the heroic age. To me, this town center, grabbing this town center this much later than Nullus, just says, I'm behind, and I'm going to accept being behind for the next. Well, I'm going to be behind for the rest of the game because of this.
It's true. Like he's behind 14 villages right now.
Yeah,
It is significant.
like that's nearly 1,000 resources in income a minute that he's behind.
Damn. And then Nullus, he's even getting these forward walls up here as well. Somehow he's able to get that villager up here. This is what I was talking about. Just put one single spearman here. That would do so much. Put him on patrol if you must.
Yep. I think this is definitely something that I've been trying to. I hate with a passion side builds. I just like, I can't deal with it. I'm not good enough. And I'm like, okay, how do I deal with this? How do I cover up for my weakness is dealing with these side builds? Well, I'm just not going to let them happen. So get spearmen out, set them around the map, get my walls up, say, go away.
Yeah, for sure. But Nullus is being so annoying now. He's getting up here in the corner. He's building stables. I don't know if Kimo's going to allow him to do it, but like this one villager, he's forcing so many reactions in from Kimo here. Has to send a cavalry, and is going to have to do something about that one villager too.
Yeah, I mean, and in this position, like, yet again, Nullus is basically 145, 145 pop. Kim's 125, 125. We're missing some houses here, it seems, but he's not even.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah, he's not.
He's building them.
Yeah, but still gonna try and push out here. I think one
He's
thing.
gonna try.
I think one thing that Kimo's lacking here is the Bitsukos in this army of Ra. I think it's with the one weakness that Chiron has over the other Greek heroes is that his damage is a little bit lower, and and he's not going to be able to kill off the Bitsukos as easily. So I'm just surprised to see them not coming into the army as restoration comes down.
Yeah, and if you're playing Ra, you can if you have just 10 Chariot Archers, you can focus down the Ajax very, very easily. And then the Chiron has to get into Chariot Archer range if he wants to hit the Pitsuchas. So you basically win every fight so long as there's not walls or military production in the way or something. So gives you a lot more options as Ra. But right now, this army is very mobile, sure, but it's not going to win this fight. Might win here actually, because there's a TC.
Yeah, fortified town centers gets that boost. Pharaoh coming in as well, be able to take out everything else. And at the very least here, Kimo has stabilized, but stabilizing, is that going to be enough?
You seen this up here? This one stable, well, there's two stables that Nullus managed to build here. They're just being so annoying for Kimo right here. He's getting so many villager kills. They're sneaking through the lagoon here, and they're up here killing villagers.
Yeah, and I mean, we also have to remember he's got that Tusk of the Iron Boar. Oh, and the Pharaoh goes down as Osiris is clicked up is huge. Slows down any sort of timings that come through.
Poor Kimo. He's losing all of his villages over here.
Yeah,
look at this. He's having to send... How many is this? 12 units just to deal with it.
He doesn't care. Nullus doesn't care. He's just like, look, you're over here. You didn't protect yourself, and I'm punishing you for it.
Indeed.
This is
the work of one villager. Just keep that in mind. The absolute value of sending one villager over here.
Yeah, I mean, that's also like, I mean, Kimo's played lots of games. Painted Deserts. One of the unique features is that those forests, they don't connect to each other. You can sneak around the edge, and we can continue to sneak around the edge. You can see that Nullus has actually got his walls up on the sides of the water as well, so that Kimo can't sneak around, and Kimo's just kind of forgotten to put them up here in this game.
Yep, it's just better defense by Nullus here. So he's setting up the fortress 2 now, and with this cliff here, I think Nullus can actually just place a wall right here. We'll see what he does with the underworld, but what is the underworld for?
Oh.
Such a weird underworld. I think it's just for gold control. We'll see how Nullus decides.
I don't know about this one. This is... It's allowing him to keep pressure here so he can set up for the siege of this town center.
Yeah.
I think Kimo should be able to hold here.
There's heavy prodromos in for Nullus now, so these camels aren't of much use anymore, so long as they're in the fight. But this wall here, in combination with this fortress, as soon as this one Petrobos comes out, Kimo is going to be under a lot of pressure. There is Catapult coming in, and where is Osiris' son at? He's here. Not quite with the... Oh wait, he doesn't have Neft, it's not great.
Well, Son of Osiris is going to be able to come in and deal with this underworld passage. With Nullus spending all of these resources on this, and he does have that, well, you are right, that Petropolis fires for days. The one thing that Nullus is behind here, which he's not been behind thus far in terms of tech here, he hasn't been able to get, and then he just gets the resources there. Never mind.
He's getting advices.
He's advices already.
And he's disrupting this northern location here once more. Plus, he's got the perfect setup here. Like this is a perfect setup for Nullus with the wall and with the cliff here. The catapult might be able to actually do something here, both take down the fortress and the walls, but there's just the one catapult so far.
There's something here to notice. and this is definitely a conscious decision, it seems, from Nullus, is that he's consciously delayed fortified town centers until after he's clicked up through Hephaestus.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
Because
Yeah, because once you have that, you're gonna spend so many more resources on military units.
yeah, not only do you spend the 800 resources on fortified town centers, but then you've got to find yourself an extra, I don't know, what is it, 10 population? 15 population? So you're spending another, I don't know, like 700 resources on units to get that population out.
Yeah, it's a good point. Very significant. And obviously, wait, that's a shifting stance onto the Petropolis. Used where? Where did they go?
Bottom left.
Like here?
Yeah. Oh no, that's just Typicon. Oh.
All right. Son of Osiris doing a good job pushing back the army now, but it is also taking damage from the fortress and the Toxotes here.
Yeah, there was.
This wall is down.
Did you? If you remember, there was this game that Squash was playing, and I think most players kind of widely agree that Squash, if he's not the best player in 1v1s, he's at least one of the best 1v1 players.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't play in the tournaments. And one thing that Squash did in this seemingly very difficult matchup, Ra versus Hades, was he used the shifting sands very, very tactically to kill off a town center or kill off a Titan gate or just do something huge to find an advantage. But Kimo using it on those Metropolis is like, that makes it very, very tough for him to find
Yeah,
any
like
advantage.
this shifting sense was just minimal power at a it doesn't shift the course of this game at all.
Yeah.
Whereas when you use shifting sands, when you really have a plan for it, like you said, to deny a Titan gate or to grab a TC over here, you can have 5 siege towers and a bunch of military units. You can easily take over one of the TCs if you do it very strategically. Like that's a really big play with the shifting sands, but no man, Son of Osiris going down here.
Yeah, Son of Osiris, it's the bane of Egyptian players' existence. That was a huge play by Nullus to get that. But Kimo, he just missteps. You've got to keep it right next to the town center. It can't move anywhere else. Otherwise, it just dies.
Yeah, basically. Keep it in town center range so you can easily garrison in and out. Colossi coming, or Colossus coming in. Is there a mummy nearby or did it die?
I think it was
Probably
It
died.
was around, but it fell. And here's the thing: it's like Nullus is able. He's like he's not in front on villager camp, but he technically is because he's got plenty vault. But he's just able to keep this trading going with the help of the Hades Shade, with the help of the plenty vault, with the help of Forge of Olympus. He's able to keep this trading going and get his techs, while Kimo, he's unable to get his tech, so he's trading and he's staying at full population, but he's just falling behind.
Yeah. It's so insane. And a lot of it is just these chariot archers getting outvalued.
Yeah. Well, you see, if you
they're-
look at the stats, it's like they're a 3 population unit versus a 2 population unit, and they basically they're not doing 3 population worth of damage to the Toxotes, basically, at this point.
No. And the Toxotes are about to get bronze weapons, iron weapons, and by then it's going to do the same damage as the chariot archers.
Yeah.
Plus there's the Shades coming in too. These 3 units that deal 10.8 damage, which has no counter. The chariot archers are a good counter, to be honest, but other than that, there's no direct counter unit to it.
Yeah, I was thinking more and more about, I mean, obviously the big thing that comes to mind when you go, why is Hades so strong right now? And it is the Hades Shade. And there's 2 options here. If you were to put a patch out, whether that happens or not, there's 2 options. Obviously, Nullus is playing amazingly here. I'm not want to take anything away from him here. But those Hades Shades, you could either take the base armor down, or you could make them 2 population. I think taking the base armor down would allow other civilizations a much easier time with dealing with them.
Yeah. And it's also the fact that they get armory upgrades, so that even in late game, they're a menace to deal with. They're really good early classical or classical age in particular. But then late game, once you get all the Iron Mail, Iron Pierce armor too, like they take so much arrow fire and they just survive it. And it's a free unit.
It's a great unit.
Especially when you compare Hades to Zeus in a lot of matchups where you cannot make use of the favor generation. It just doesn't make sense to not pick Hades a lot of the time. or Poseidon for that matter. That's not a great spot for the civilization variety to be in.
Yeah, well, I mean, Nullus now, he's pushing in. He's going to be getting this town center up very, very shortly here. And 4 town centers to... With 3 town centers to 3 town centers isn't hard enough. 4 town centers to 2 town centers. Kimo's trying to spam all the mercenary out. He's got 22 donkey caravans. He's got his trade route secured. Does he have a priest or a pharaoh on it? He's got the pharaoh standing next to it, being very
Pharaoh's
sad.
chilling there.
But yeah.
There's the 4th GC in for Nullus. He's got a fortress there. He's probably making Helepolis. There's the GG.
That's the game. Well played
GGs.
there by Nullus. He cleans that up in a dominating fashion there. 3-0. Unfortunately,
Damn.
the network connection from Kimo here, or whatever was happening, I get this feeling that everything is, it's not just on one player. I mean, it could be any variety of problems with Voobly or someone's internet. I don't know, but the thing to remember is both players were under the same influence here of this situation, and Nullus performed incredibly well here.
Nullus, such a stable player, especially on his Hades, and he was just allowed to play his game, do what he does best, and proved very successful here.
Yeah, well played by Nullus. He gets a 3-0. Going to be moving on to the semifinals. There's currently Skadi in the semis. We've still got Mariano and Matrius playing tonight. I think it's happening at 1800 GMT. And we've also got Rappel and Yoshi playing on Monday, I believe, at 1800 GMT as well, I think. Can't remember exactly.
It was Monday or Tuesday. As I heard it, Rebel is sick right now, so
right.
we'll see when he can play.
Yeah, but those games will be coming up. There's also a quarterfinal game in the Challengers League. I think it is, I want to say Demantis versus Miracle is my guess, but I can't remember off the top of my head. And that's happening at 17:30 GMT. So lots of games to be watching. A huge thank you to Soup for stepping in and helping out. It means a lot.
My pleasure.
Definitely go and check his YouTube channel out. His Twitch, both Husk Soup. There's a great YouTube short of a dancing mountain giant. It's hilarious. Go and check it out. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys.